Good afternoon. This is Milad. I'm your instructor for this course, EL118, the reading class. Okay? Before we start talking about our, I need to demonstrate how this course is going to be helpful or beneficial to you in your core courses. First, this course is academic reading and it's an elective that would equip you with the necessary vocabulary items that would help study in the English language and literature program. So in order to excel in this course, you need to bear in mind that you need to do a lot of, okay? You have to read a lot, you have to research, you have to memorize different vocabulary items because the book is rich items, different contexts, different situations. EL118 reading. Okay. So, before we start reading, what do you expect to learn in a reading class? What do you expect to learn? How to read. Okay. We don't know how to read. How to read correctly. How? No. No. Okay. FW114. You're welcome. So, what do you expect to learn in a reading course? Fluency usually it's for speaking. Yeah, for speaking. So maybe practicing more. Of course, we are going to implement the 4 skills. We're going to read, we're going to write, we're going to speak and discuss, and we're going to listen. Listen to each other, listen to films, listen to conversation between us, all of these. Okay, you expect to learn a lot of new vocabularies. How to speak. Okay, this is again not speaking class. I want to tell me about something that you expect to learn.
I cannot concentrate in the same time. So if I can read and concentrate, I speak correctly.
Good point of view. Again, what do you expect to learn in a reading class?
Skimming?
Skimming. How to skim a passage quickly. So, what's a skimming?
Read for ideas, for ideas.
Read quickly to get the main idea. What else? Scanning?
Yes,
okay, scanning?
Reading, but for specific information.
Exactly. Reading for searching, reading to search for a specific idea. What else?
Invested reading. Read very carefully.
Intensive reading.
Read very carefully.
Read
very carefully, maybe for novels or reports.
For knowledge. Yes.
Knowledge, yeah.
Okay. So, as I told you, this is a 4-credit course. Your assessment is divided into 50 marks for the final and 50 marks for the continuous assessment. 30 marks goes for the midterm assessment. This is usually on week 8. And 20 marks goes for the TMA, tutor marked assignment, and this is usually at the end of week 11. Yani it's going to be around 7th of December. Okay? This is for the assessment. So let's start our book now. Page 2, after the introduction. Let's open our book now after the introduction. Unit 1 talks about the strengths to survive. The strengths to survive. The topic is under physiology. Okay, so what's physiology? The name science. This is the name of science called physiology. Physiology.
Physiology is the physics of the body, the information
study
of the physics of the body.
Exactly. It's a study of the different organs in our or human body. What else? From the title, what do you expect? You expect to read about from the title. Now, what do you expect about? Human function. What else? Animals. So it can be for studying human body or any living organism. Okay. The strengths to survive. The word survive refers to what? Or surviving. And what do we mean by surviving?
Stay alive.
Staying alive. Okay. So surviving and staying alive. This gives us the impression that it's more for humans or animals. Actually, it's for both. So before we start reading, we need to understand what is it about. Okay? On page 2, you will understand that this course, yes, you will understand that this unit has specific learning outcome that you need to focus on. Of course, we're going to know about the physical activities of animals and humans. Both animals and humans. And we're going to practice some reading skills or sub-skills like skimming and scanning. In addition to outlining, how to outline. Also, we're going to increase our vocabulary storage. We're going to gain more words that can help us in increasing our vocabulary items. And the target words in this unit are these. So first, I want you to look at these words. These are the target words for this unit. And start filling in the following table here. What are the words that I have never seen before? And what are the words that I have seen but I'm not sure what does it mean? And what are the words that I understand it but I haven't heard or seen it in a sentence? And what are the words that I have tried to use before, but I'm not sure I am using it or not? And what are the words that you use with confidence, either in speaking or... And what are the words that you use with confidence in both speaking and writing? Okay? Now, look at the word list and try to categorize these words here according to your knowledge. Okay? Yes. 118. This is a reading class. 118. Okay. Look again. These are the words. I want you to classify these words. Each one of you, according to your background knowledge of these words. Achieve, area, duration, element, seed, facilitate, all these words. Okay? What's this? This is... Have you finished classifying these words in the following table? Page 2. Page 1. Sorry, page 1. Page 1. Hi, hello. Reading class. Yeah, okay. Page 1, classify these words in the table below and start giving or start putting them in an appropriate sentence that shows the meaning. We're looking at the target words of this unit, Unit 1, and we are placing them in the appropriate column here below. If you're unfamiliar of this word, write it here. If you know it, or you have seen it before, but you don't know what does it mean, you write it here, and then try to put it as each word. Try to put it in a sentence. Okay. Have you finished? Okay. Who can start? Who can start? Yes.
Achieve. I use the word with confidence.
You use it with confidence?
In both speaking and writing. And my sentence is, I had achieved many goals in my life.
Good one. Okay. So now, is anything clear of achieve? So achieve means, gain something. Excellent. Another word. Reach a goal. Okay. Okay. Another word. Another word from the target words.
Element. I can use it. I can use this word with confidence, both in speaking and writing. And I can say that metal is one of the 5 elements in Chinese astrology.
Good one. Good sentence. Element. Yes. This is reading. This is 118, reading. 111, FW14. Okay. This is 114. This is reading class. Reading? Okay. Another word, yes.
I use the word with confidence both in speaking and writing. Undergo. Chemical reaction undergoes many changes.
Chemical
Reaction undergoes many changes.
So undergo means? Excellent. Go through. Okay? It goes through many changes. Another word. Another word from the list. Yes, please. Okay.
I registered 1 hour ago. Okay. Feature, it means the specification. This mobile has many wonderful features.
Many features. Good one. Like characteristics. Another sentence. Another word. Yes, please.
Soul.
Okay, soul.
When the person is dead, the soul is transferred from the body.
Okay, soul means?
Soul.
No, soul, not soul. Okay, yeah. This is soul. Soul means only. Yeah, only like. So who can put it in a sentence for me? Who can put it in a sentence? Yeah, exactly. So, but here we're talking about the only. Okay, soul means the only thing. Like soulmate. Okay, use a soulmate, Or you can say the sole reason, the only reason for joining this class is to be able to read effectively. Okay, but or read. Or the point is learning how to read intensively, analyzing, getting the main idea. This is the main aim of this course, to be critical reader. Read, reflect. Okay? Another word from the list. Yes, please. Maintain.
When my car is broken, I take it for the maintenance. Maintenance.
Okay. I need to use it as a verb. This is a maintenance. I need to maintain. To maintain means to keep. Excellent.
Oil capsules, they could maintain your health steady.
Another Another word, please.
I maintain my own car. I maintain my own car.
No. To keep, not maintenance, not to keep, not to fix. You mean
Okay.
you fix? Huh? Another example. Please, all of you will participate. Transfer. Huh?
Everyone must have to maintain his level to succeed.
Exactly. Keeping the same level to succeed or to keep successful. Or to be successful. Transfer.
The cost transfer to diamonds if it's keep a long time in the earth under pressure.
Under pressure. This is reading class, right? Okay. So, now, enough with these target words. Do you find any word of these unfamiliar that you haven't seen before or you haven't used in any context, in any situation? Preliminary. Yeah. What's a preliminary? Sorry? Not prefix. Yeah. Preliminary, like prerequisite. Okay? Or something free. Okay? Like, for example, preliminary, the preliminary course, this, or for core courses is English foundation courses. These are the preliminary, the prerequisite for these. Like basic. Like basic. Okay. What else? It's something primary. Preliminary means primary. Okay? To exceed. To exceed means to overcome. To overcome. Exceeding. For example, you shouldn't exceed the speed limit when you're driving, for example. You shouldn't exceed. To overcome. What else? Sorry? To facilitate. It's like facility. To facilitate, to make it easier. Exactly. A tutor is here to facilitate your learning. Okay? Facilitate. Make it easier. That's why tutors are called facilitators. I'm a facilitator. I facilitate learning. Okay? What? Time period. Exactly. Time period. 118, reading? Yes, please. What else? That's it? Can we move? All the rest are familiar to you now? Okay. So these words, you will have a look at these words in the reading itself, reading 1. Usually, I'm going to discuss 2 readings per unit. 10 units in this book. And we're going to discuss 2 readings per unit each. 1 reading, we're going to read and analyze and discuss and apply all the reading sub-skills like skimming, scanning, outlining, note-taking, all of these. Taking notes, highlighting, all of these. We're going to apply this on 1 reading passage, and the other one, in addition to a first question at the end of each unit, it's going to be assigned for a group of you. Because that's why I'm going to, I ask you to divide yourself into groups, and each group is going to be responsible for presenting and discussing a research question that we assign per year. Okay, at the end of this lecture, I'm going to assign a research question in addition to reading number 2 to be presented by one of the groups that you're going to choose. It's up to you to divide yourself into groups. I won't interfere in this. Okay? So, before we start reading 1 and before we start presenting and reading the reading, we need to do what we call before reading, warm-up. Warm-up questions. Whenever you present or whenever you read a reading passage, you need to ask yourself some questions. Questions that would facilitate understanding the reading comprehension. That would help you to predict what this reading passage is going to be about or is going to present to you or discuss. So, usually we ask some warm-up questions before reading that paves the way, prepares you for the actual reading passage. Okay? So on page 2, many articles in magazines or newspaper and magazine-style television shows keep our attention. And many television shows keep our attention by providing interesting trivia. What's a trivia? Trivia. What's a trivia? Something silly. Okay. Or something, yeah, sometimes comic, silly, unusual. Something unusual. Okay? So, why do you think people find trivia so entertaining? Why? Why do you think they find trivia so entertaining?
To understand and to follow.
Because it's easy
To understand and to follow on the TV. You don't need to think more.
Okay, so you think it's you think it's sort of something silly you will follow without exerting too much effort thinking about it. That's the reason.
Maybe it's make us laugh.
It makes us laugh. Okay, it makes us laugh. That's why we feel attracted to see trivia. What else? Why do people see trivia or watch trivia? Read in magazines. Why do you read trivias in magazines?
Because ridiculous things and silly things change the mood and the atmosphere, so it will be funny, more funny. So.
Okay. What else? So, generally, do you like trivia? All of you? Most of the time. Sometimes you find it
silly. I cannot watch. Yeah.
Okay. So, usually, or actually, trivia is something unusual, but not everyone would accept it or find it appealing. Yes? 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 Sorry? Okay. No. Can you name some trivias? Tell me about a trivia that you have seen in a television show or you have read about in a magazine.
There's a show, Ridiculous. How people trick each other, and it's funny. It's serious and dangerous sometimes, but it's so funny.
Okay. Something unusual. Here's something unusual.
That serial, The Third Rock from the Sun.
Okay.
That can maybe be trivia.
Maybe.
It shows.
Yeah, it shows something unusual. Okay, that's it? No other examples? Yeah.
Fashion Police on E! Entertainment.
It's
Silly, yeah.
There is Arabic shows that in last Ramadan I saw it. It's very silly. I cannot. It's disgusting, really. Yeah, it's not fun at all because they are putting some people inside the elevator and they making funny of them and
Making fun, yeah.
yes, it's a very unusual show actually.
Okay, have you seen the Tom this year? The Tom was terrible. Okay, so if we look here to this one, what can you see in this picture? It's animation, exactly. Who are the heroes here? The characters. Who are the characters in this animation? Yes, raise your voice.
It's Roadrunner and the Coyote.
Yes, exactly. Roadrunner and the Coyote. So why was Roadrunner able to get away from wild Coyote all the time? Why? Because he's fast. Because of his physical ability to survive. He's faster than the Coyote. Okay? So. And he's, stupid. This is the point. So it doesn't depend only on the physical ability. Also depends on the thinking and mind and mental ability in order to be clever enough in order to be able to escape. So Can you recall one of these animation episodes? Okay, like Tom and Jerry. Okay, what else? Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. So, all the time, what's the mechanism of surviving in these animation shows? What's the mechanism of surviving? Running, escaping, hiding. Okay, so eventually catching. Okay, what else? And tricks. Tricks. It all depends on tricks. Okay? So, sometimes we sympathize with these characters, but actually in wildlife or in actual life, we don't see it like this, or it doesn't happen like this. So, some animals evolved to run at great speed to evade predators, to escape from predators. Like what? Give me example. Like? Exactly, a lion and a gazelle.
Yes.
A lion and a gazelle. What else? Dogs are not predators. Just annoying cats, but not predators. We need predators like lions, tigers, all of these. Okay? And what tactics will EQLT use to try to catch Roadrunner? Give me some tactics from this animation. I want you all to participate, please. What tactics did he?
Sometimes he's using the dynamite.
Exactly. He's using dynamite.
He always waiting for him to come, then he explode the thing.
Explosions. He uses and sometimes heavy rocks. Okay. Say heavy rocks. What? That's okay. Digging holes, traps, making traps. Excellent. Making traps. So, as you can see, there are various factors that make particular animal exceptional, and like the ability to run fast or run at a great distance, or jump or dive or lift incredible weights. All of these are physical abilities that help these animals to survive, to go on. Okay? So our reading today is about this, about physical abilities for animals to keep surviving. Okay? If we look at this one again, I want you to look at these here on page 2. I want you to look at these names of some living organisms and try to classify these into which of these are birds, which of these are fish or belong to fish, and insects, where the grazing animals, they eat grass, okay, and cat, this is 117, yes, cat and canine. This is 117, 118, sorry, 118, this is 118. I've just finished the class. Okay, so try to look at these. Can you see this on page 2? Okay. Try to guess which of these animals belong to the bird family, or which belong to fish family, insects, grazing animals, as I told you, or canine, like predators, some canine like predators, or cat family, like lions. Antelope. Oh, we have the word antelope here. Where are you going to put antelope?
I meant you were describing some animal.
I'm not describing a specific animal. I'm talking about several families, and you're going to classify these animals according to their species. If you don't know, just have a look at the reading passage on page 3. Have a look at the reading passage on page 3 and see if you find the name of this animal with a sentence or two describing it. You might be able to figure out to which family it or they belong. Okay? bring the book next time. Okay? You can share with someone. Yani, share with someone. Nadia, okay, you can share with her. Would you please? And here, you can share. What's your name? Heba. And you can share with Heba. Okay? No, we're not going to answer now. Khalas? You just take some time to skim the text quickly to try to figure out to which group each animal belongs. And then let's do this exercise together. I want you now to match the pictures with its name, with the appropriate name. It's not, yeah, I know it's not so clear. Yeah, try as much. Yeah, we can switch off the light now. Huh? Is it clear now? Okay. So, Nadia.
Ostrich first. So, ostrich, the last one on left side.
Okay. What else?
Falcon. It is the first to the right.
Falcon. This is the first one. Yes. So this is the ostrich and this is the falcon. Yes, please.
The cheetah at the bottom right.
Exactly. This is the cheetah.
Gazelle. It is the third one. The second one. Third.
Here? Yeah, this is the gazelle? Yeah. This is the gazelle. Or what about this deer? No. Deer? We don't have deer here. If this is the gazelle, this is the antelope. Excellent. This is the antelope. Okay. What else? Huh?
Miss the falcon.
Yeah, we said the falcon.
Oh, okay.
Coyote? Where's the coyote? Yes, this one. This is the coyote.
Albatross is the first bird on the...
The albatross, this is the albatross. It's seagull. You know seagull? Yeah. Okay, so this is the albatross. Actually, this is right. Okay, so if we look here, we will see... Okay. If we look here, these are the matching for the pictures and its name. Naming of these pictures. Start naming these pictures. 118. Yeah, this is 118. Now, this is the swift. This is the bird that flies near the shore. These are called swift. Okay, and this is road runner. This is the actual road runner, not in the animation. Okay, Arctic tern. This is Arctic tern. Okay, now we move to another group. This one, now match. I want you to match the picture with its name again. Yes, please.
Salaman, the second picture.
Yeah, the second one is salmon. Okay.
Puffin. It's the down bottom right.
This is one. This is this one. Here. This one is buffalo. You're talking about the buffalo. This is buffin. This is buffin, not buffalo. No. Huh?
The second picture.
Beetle. The second picture there.
Eel, insect.
Huh?
Eel.
No, that. Which one?
Insect. It's
No. That eel. Okay. Fish. Excellent. Huh? Zebra. This is the first one. Huh? What else? Thick-billed moor. Thick-billed moor. Huh? This is a type or one species of bird. So if you look at this is the correct answer. This is salmon, eel, wild beast, zebra, beetle, loon. This is the loon. It's a type of dog. This is 118 reading. Yeah, there was a switch. Yeah. Three rules. There is a switch. Yeah. Okay. FW 104. You can go FW 104. You're welcome. Yeah, but in the sea, for the sea. It's type of fish. Okay, this is under the water. Snake, this is water snake. Yeah, this is the water. Now start classifying. Go back to page 2, start classifying the names of these living organisms according to their species. Now start classifying here. Easy now, right? I didn't find the picture of these living organisms. It's easy now. Who can tell me?
Ostrich for birds.
Bravo. Ostrich for birds.
Swift for bird.
Bravo. Swift for birds.
Salmon for fish.
Bravo. Salmon for fish.
Puffin for birds.
Puffin for birds.
For bird.
Falcon for birds.
Salmon for fish.
Salmon. Yeah, we said salmon. Yes.
Eel for fish.
Eel for fish. Excellent.
Antelope.
9. What are the
Antelope.
No, not an antelope. Antelope, it's grazing animal. Grazing animal that eat grass. So, what's a canine? What's a canine? Huh? It's a kind of dog. Excellent. So here, which one can be placed in the last column? Coyote. Excellent. The coyote. That. So this passage is mainly talking about these different types of animals and how they adapt, how they try to survive by developing certain physical abilities. If we look now at the passage on page 3, okay? I want you to skim the passage. What's the meaning of skimming? Reading through the passage. Yeah, exactly. Skipping some major elements, just taking the main idea in order to come up with the main idea of each, for example, paragraph. Okay, so I want you to skim the passage in order to differentiate between pronoun antelope and cheetah. Okay, how we are going to do this. Skim it. Skim the text. Yeah, on page 3. Go through it quickly until you find the paragraph that is talking about these two animals and tell me what's the difference or what's the relationship between these two animals. Antelope and cheetah. Did you find the paragraph that is talking about the relationship between these two animals? Which number? Paragraph number 10? Number 10. Yes, number 10. which is paragraph number 2. Excellent. Who can answer this? What's the relationship between these two animals based on the passage? Huh? Yes, please.
The cheetah can run for 70 miles per hour, so is the antelope, the pronged antelope. But the cheetah runs in pursuit and the pronged runs to escape.
Exactly. So the relationship between them is a prey and its predator. A prey and its predator. Another one. Now we move to, now we move to another one. Animal Olympics. Okay, this is the title for this reading. Can you see any resemblance between the cheetah and this sprinter? Okay, what's the relationship? They run fast, okay, and they both sprint. Okay, this is the relationship. They both sprint while running. This is an athlete and he's running by sprinting, okay? Running with a huge or wide jump. This is what we call sprinting. And also the cheetah, when it runs, it sprints, okay? So what's the resemblance between these two? They sprinters. They sprint. What about this? What's the relationship between What's the relationship between roadrunner and ostrich? Skim the passage for another paragraph that is talking about the relationship or the comparison made between an ostrich and a roadrunner. Take time. Skim the passage. Skim the reading passage again to find the relationship or the differences, the comparison between an ostrich and a roadrunner. Have you found it? Okay. Have you found it? Where? Third paragraph.
Line 32.
Okay, would you please read it?
On foot, the fastest bird in this ostrich is the ostrich, which can run about 40 miles per hour. It outpaces.
Outpasses, overcomes. Okay?
The greatest roadrunner.
Exactly. So, who's faster? Okay, on foot, running on foot, on the ground. Okay, but who's faster in flying? Falcon. Okay, so move to the one. This is Brigitte Falcon. The falcon, it's the fastest of both of them.
Yeah.
Who can read this part? Read this part in the reading passage about the falcon. Skim the passage.
27.
Line 27. Read it.
The peregrine falcon is widely acknowledged to be the fastest moving bird, achieving astonishing speed when it dives
for its prey. Okay, so this is how we skim. We take a word as a keyword and try to search through the passage until we find the specific information. This is scanning. So we skim quickly by reading the topic sentence of each body paragraph. If we find that this topic sentence of this paragraph contains the keyword, we go through deep reading. And this is called, in this case, it's called scanning. We focus on specific piece of information. So when she found the answer and when she read it on paragraph 3, this is scanning. She skimmed it first until she found that the needed information is mentioned in paragraph 3, and then she scanned the exact sentences or 2 or 3 sentences and read them. So what we're applying now is sub-reading skills, skimming and scanning. Okay? We didn't read the whole passage yet. Okay? So now I want you to read this article from the National Wild Federation and discuss how animals would perform in 5 categories of Olympic competition. Some animals are sprinting. Some animals, like cheetah, exactly. And some animals can run for long distance, like gazelle or antelope, okay? And some animals can dive, like puffin or penguin, okay? And you're going to read about the penguin. And some animals can jump, like kangaroo or others, you're going to read. And some animals can weightlift more than their actual weight. They can weightlift more than their actual weight, okay? So now I want you to read. Now you're going to read intensively the reading passage quickly and try to tell me about these examples. Which are sprinters and what's their physical ability, which are long distance runner and what's their physical ability, diving, jumping, weightlifting, and so on. While reading, while reading, I want you to draw comparison between. While reading, I want you on a separate piece of paper. Now, on a separate piece of paper, I want you to draw comparison between these two, for example, salmons and eels. One sentence to describe the salmon, one sentence to an eel, and what's the differences or similarities between them. I want you to compare between emperor penguin and thick-billed moor. What's the difference between emperor penguin and in diving, for example, or swimming, okay? Find these. Write this because I want to flip that slide. I want, while reading now, draw comparison between these, and draw comparison between these 3 types of birds. Arctic tern, swift, albatross, 3 whales, gray whale, sperm whale, and bottlenose whale. So let's go one by one. First, read to compare between these two, salmon and eel. Yeah, you can read now, and when you reach paragraph that is discriminating or describing to, raise your hand and read it. And when you reach the other one, raise your hand and read it. Okay? Yes, have you reached the first one? Okay.
Fish.
Them. In which paragraph and which line?
The 5th paragraph, line 2.
Line 42, line 53.
53, line 53.
So please go to
some salmon swimming between the ocean. Salmon between salmon. Okay, swimming between the ocean and the river in which they spawn. Go over 2,000 miles. But the European eels are said to swim up to 3,700 miles.
exactly. To reach their breeding
And the Sargasso.
Okay, so the difference between them, what's the difference between these two organisms?
The speed in swimming.
The speed, excellent. Another one, emperor penguin and thick-billed mer. Emperor penguin and thick-billed mer. Yes, please. Okay.
Line 76.
Page 4.
Page 4. There's a little there's a little competition for the deepest diving bird, the emperor penguin, which can dive to a depth of 1,770 feet. Outside of the penguin family, the thick-billed mer may be one of the emperor's nearest competitors. It is thought to dive to 600 to 700 feet.
Okay. What's the basic function for comparison here? We can compare them based the depth of diving. How deep they can go diving. How deep they can go diving. Excellent. The other one. The three birds. Arctic tern, swifts, albatross. Read through the passage until you... This is reading. 111 upstairs. Yeah, I know. There have been a change. Yes, please.
Line 45.
Line 45, page 3.
And some birds spend long durations, even most of their lives in flight. Swift, for example, have very developed legs and live almost entirely off the wing.
Exactly.
Some seabirds, such as the sooty tern, fly for years without landing.
So sooty tern, this Arctic tern, they fly for years without
Landing.
Yes.
The wandering albatross is named for its ability to fly through thousands of miles on feeding trips.
Yeah, like hunting trips for them. Okay, so what's the basic element for comparing them? You're comparing them based on what? Basic element of comparison here.
The duration of the flying.
Duration of the flying? Huh?
Yes.
Huh. The strengths.
Yeah, the strength.
Their strengths. Excellent. So the following one, gray whale, sperm whale, and bottlenose whale. Whales. Yes, please. Page 4, line
65.
Yes.
The sperm whale
Line 65.
is generally acknowledged to be the deepest diving mammal, but the northern bottlenose whale is not far behind. The sperm whale is known to dive a mile, 5,280 feet or deeper, and to stay under the duration exceeding 2 hours. The bottlenose is said to dive at least 5,000 feet and is also able to remain sperm whale for 2 hours if the two whales competing in Olympic event. The odds will be about even. There is a little.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. So, what's the basic element of comparing them? We're comparing them according to how far they can dive, okay, or how deep they can dive. This one, kangaroo, cricket frog, white-tailed deer. Kangaroo, cricket frog, white-tailed deer.
White-tailed deer,
Page 4,
line 85.
85. Jumping.
White-tailed deer, when bounding, can cover almost the same distance, but the true long jump champion is probably the inch-long southern cricket frog, which makes leaps exceeding 60 times its body length. As for the high jump, the red kangaroo can hurdle a 10-foot fence. North America's white-tailed deer can hurdle an obstacle 8.5 feet high. Those leapers have got nothing on the lowly spittlebug, though, which jumps 115 times its body height. The deer and kangaroo would have to jump about 600 feet to compete with the spittlebug.
Okay. So here, what's the element of comparison here? Leap and jumping, yes. How wide can leap and jump? How wide can leap and jump? Which is the most, which one of them can achieve the widest leap? According to this paragraph, which one of them, of these, can achieve the widest leap, the widest jump? Which one? Kangaroo? The frog. If you compare to the size, if compared to the length of the body, it's the cricket frog. Okay? If compared to the length of the body, it's the cricket frog. Okay? Now, African elephant, rhinoceros, beetle. African elephant, rhinoceros, beetle. In this paragraph. Yes, Maria?
I think paragraph, we can say line number 100.
Excellent.
Yeah, 100, yeah. No animal on earth can lift much weight as the African elephant, which can pick up a 1-ton weight with its trunk, relative to body size. However, the elephant doesn't even come close to the strongest animal on earth. What is it? The rhinoceros, I think, beetle. Rhinoceros beetle, yeah.
Which is the strongest, an elephant or the rhinoceros?
Rhinoceros. This rather strange-looking little creature can transport objects weighing 850 times its own body weight. The elephant, carrying only 1/4 of its body weight, isn't even close in these contents. I think it's finished, right? No. We can continue. At Olympic Games, the fastest runners, highest jumpers, and most skillful divers win medals and worldwide acclaim.
Okay, so this is the concluding paragraph. Concluding paragraph tells us that these all animals can actually participate in Olympics because they are sprinters, they are fast runners, they are jumpers, they are divers, and they are weightlifters. Exactly. So now let's look at the sentences on page 5. This is to check our comprehension. I want you to look at these sentences and decide whether they are true or false. Page 5. Reading comprehension exercise. Who can read the first one and tell whether it's true or false? Based on our understanding. Actually, we skimmed the text first, quickly, to understand which paragraph is talking about what type of Olympic event. And then we scanned it to draw comparison between different animals or different of animals. Now, we are checking general comprehension.
Antelope, are the cheetahs prey? True.
Do you think it's true? It's the gazelle. The gazelle, it's prey. But antelope is its competitor, its match. Its match in what? In how speed they can both go. So actually, because the antelope here, it's a match for the cheetah. In what ability? According to the passage. According to the passage, it's its match. The antelope is, it's the match of the cheetah. In what element? In how fast they can run. They can run. Okay, number 2.
A sperm whale can hold its breath for a duration of 2 hours. True.
True. Bravo. Following one, yes, please.
A peregrine
It eats other birds. It dives through the air and they can hunt other birds. Sorry. Next. Number 4. Yes, number 4. Yes, please. Yeah.
A cheetah can run a mile in less than a minute.
False. It can run 4
Miles.
Excellent. 70 miles per hour. So what did she do? She went back to the passage and she scanned the number. The number here, it says 100 miles. So in the passage it says, no, it's 70 miles per hour, not 100 per hour. Again, this is scanning. We scan back. We take a keyword. You take a keyword. In less than a minute. Actually, 70 miles. Yeah. No, it's false. Cheetah can run a mile in less than a minute.
1 mile in less than an hour.
But here it says 70 mile per hour. After 30 yards, they get tired. So it's not per minute. It's gonna be less than this, more than this. Number 5. Yes, number 5. Yes, number 5.
Coyotes can run a mile in under 2 minutes. It's false.
Here it says coyote can run a mile in under 2 minutes. According to the passage, a coyote can run a mile in 25 seconds or minutes or 25 seconds or 30 seconds. So they can run 2 miles in a minute. They can cross 30 in half. So 2 in 1 minute. Okay? Is it clear? No. Coyote can run a mile in under 2 minutes. Okay? A mile under 2 minutes. In the passage, it says it can run 25 to 30 miles per hour. So in this case, this is true. They can run a mile in less than, in under 2 minutes, or within. In under here means 2 minutes. True. Number 6 here. Other. Yes, please.
No animal can dive deeper than the emperor penguin. False.
False. Which animal can dive deeper? Whales. Excellent. Bravo. Okay. Number 7. Yes, girls. Yes, please.
The southern cricket frog makes leaps exceeding 100 times its body length. False.
False. What's the cricket frog?
60.
60 times. Excellent. The cricket frog can jump exceeding 60 times its body length, not 100 times. How can you tell? By referring back to the, you refer back to the passage, you scan this piece of information, you find it. What we're learning, this is the sub-reading skills we need to learn in order to apply on our readings. Okay? We don't read the whole thing yet. We just pick words from questions and then back to find. Number. Yes, please.
Relative to body weight, a healthy human being can lift more than an elephant.
Relative, yeah. Relative to our body weight.
True.
True. Why? Because a human being can lift more than its weight. But an elephant who weighs tons or thousands of tons of its in its weight, they can't lift this. Actually, they lift nearly half of their body weight. Okay? So now we're moving what we have already discussed, how we're going to apply is to check here. This is to check your answers, the true, false sentences. And now we move to reading strategy, skimming and scanning on page 5. Okay? Here it says, when you study, if you want to memorize, we read very slow. Like, we cover 100 words per minute. But if we're reading for learning, not for memorizing, studying by heart and memorizing, but if we're reading for learning, we can read slow, but not very slow. Slow, about 100 to 200 words per minute. If we're reading for pleasure or if we're reading for comprehension, we need to understand this passage, for example. We read at a moderate speed, 200 to 400 words per minute. But for skimming, we read fast. For skimming, to get the main idea of each paragraph, for example, we read fast, from 400 to 700 words per minute. Going quickly. Okay, this is skimming. For scanning, we read very fast, about 700 words per minute or plus. 700 per minute, words per minute or plus. So this is what we have done. Okay, throughout all the exercises that we have discussed, drawing comparison, matching, and listing information, this is what we have done up to now, and this is what we're going to do for all the reading passages that we're going to study for this term. That goes without saying. Without saying, you're going to skim the passage at first to answer some questions or do some activities. And then you're going to scan it to get specific information to answer these questions. So skimming and scanning work well when you know about what you are looking for and what you are searching for. But if you don't have any idea about this topic, it would be difficult for you to skim and because you don't have background or you don't know enough information or needed information about this. So here, let's divide ourselves into teams. Look at these questions on page 6, exercise, the first exercise on the page. I want you to divide yourself into teams to search for some answers. How you're going to search throughout the book. These answers, you can find these answers throughout the book. How you're going to find these answers throughout the book. Okay? Can you do this as an assignment for your team for next week? Okay, so next week I want you to name your teams for me. Each team is going to give a name for its team with its members. I want you to tell me about the result of your research. How did you go through the whole book in order to answer these questions, the questions on page 6 here. I want you to do this exercise as a team, and then I want you to present the second reading. One of you, we're assigned now, okay? We're assigned which team is going to present the second reading for us. So let's go for the vocabulary. Okay. This one? No, this one? The duration. The last one, elapsed time, this is the duration. Okay? Now let's do some activities for practicing the vocabulary item gained from this reading passage. By now, we have learned some vocabulary, some new vocabulary items that we need to practice together. If you look at this table here, it's on your page, in your book, page 6, you will find that there are different parts of speech. What are the different parts of speech here? Noun, verbs, adjective, adverb, conjunction. Okay? So have all these forms, or it can have these. For example, achievement. Achievement, this is a noun. The verb form is to achieve. And the adjective is achievable, and so on. So if we look at the adjective column, what are the endings for these adjectives? A-B-L-E, able, okay, or A-L, or A-R-Y, or I-V-E, or E-D, okay, and others. Whenever we learn a new table or a vocabulary table like this, we're going to learn more about endings of adjectives and endings of nouns. What are the endings here? M-E-N-T. This is like employment. Okay, achievement, employment. M-E-N-T gives this word or the root word, give it the noun form. And Chan, T-I-O-N. T-I-O-N. And, okay, no, this is element, this is root. Okay, and A-N-C. Okay, as I told you, whenever we learn a new vocabulary table, we'll be able to learn more about endings. Endings for nouns, endings for adjective. What about adverb? 90% of the adverbs end with, all adverbs, 90% of them, they end with ly. But remember, some adverbs, they don't have ly, like fast. We have just mentioned fast. Okay? For example, he drives fast. Don't say fastly. Nothing called fastly. Okay? This is misconception. So now, look at the sentences on page 6 and 7 and try to fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps with one word of these. Depending on what, you will see this gap. If this gap is preceding a noun, if this space preceding comes before a noun, in this case you need an adjective. And if this space describes or modifies the action of the sentence, the verb of the sentence, in this case you need an adverb. And if this space is a noun, not an adjective, and for example you can adjective and you know that what is following an adjective? The noun. Okay? In this case you need to put a noun. And sometimes you find sentences lacking the action. You can't find the action. The space needs an action verb. In this case you're going to use the verb. So now in pairs, work together. I want you to work together. In pairs or groups of 3. I want you to divide yourself into groups of 3 to come and discuss and present the readings and the research question. So now in pairs and groups of 3, do this exercise and then we can discuss it. Okay, this together quickly. You've got 4 minutes. Each sentence should take half a minute. You've got 4 minutes. Nadia, have a seat. Grab a seat. try to finish. Still 1 minute. Okay. Have you finished? Okay, good for you. Who can start? Who can start? Okay, this team. First one.
The pronoun antelope can achieve speeds of 30 to 45 miles per hour over long distance.
Do you think can gives us a hint that it needs a verb? Okay, so we need to use a verb. Can achieve speed or can maintain, keep. Excellent. They can maintain speed per hour. That's why it says it can maintain speeds of 30 to 45 miles per hour for over long distance. So it's maintain, not achieve. Because when you achieve, you start, for example, at a low speed, low distance, and then you achieve it at the end, or finally you achieve it. But here, from the very beginning, they are keeping the same speed. So this is maintaining, keeping. Can maintain. Maintain means keep. Remember, we discussed this at the beginning of the lecture. Maintain means keep. Yeah, of course. Speed. Oh. Okay, thank you. Number 2.
The normal swimming speed of emperor penguins is 4 to 6 miles per hour, but they can achieve speeds of more than 11 miles per hour in short bursts.
Excellent. Achieve. They can achieve. This is the ultimate goal that they can achieve later on. Okay? Number 3. Lady, number 3. Yes, please. Listen to her.
Emperor penguin can endure the extreme cold of Antarctica, where temperatures can reach 60 degrees Celsius for long duration.
Excellent. For long duration. We're talking about that period of time. So they can tolerate this for long duration. Number 4. Yes, number 4. Ladies, number 4. Yes, please.
By handling together, imperial penguins can survive the Antarctic winter. During harsh. Yeah.
We can use during hard conditions or harsh conditions, sorry. Or we can say exceedingly overcoming exceedingly harsh conditions. Okay? Exceedingly here means overcoming. Okay? So we can say exceedingly or
during.
During. Yes. During, is it here? During? No, we don't have during here. Duration, but we don't have during here. It's exceeding. Yes, next.
The bare-headed goose can reach heights in duration of 29 per feet.
This duration can reach heights in duration of. This is an expression in duration of. No, in excess of. Excellent. In excess of, this is an expression, in excess of 29,000 feet as it immigrates over the Himalayas. Okay? So this is an expression. Let's learn this expression. Okay, and we're going to revise this in the collocation chart at the end of this unit. In each unit, we're going to memorize or we're going to study 2 vocabulary tables with exercises like these and a collocation chart. So one of these collocation charts, what's a collocation? Words that usually come together. So usually in and of, usually it's this expression, in excess of. Underline this. Okay, this is one of the collocations that we're going to revise at the end of this unit. Now, number 6. Who can try? Yes, please.
Racing Homer penguins are taken to a distant location and released to race home. They maintain an average speed of about 30 miles per hour.
Okay, they maintain the very beginning or they reach it? So they achieve. Excellent. Okay, they achieve. They try to reach it. So they achieve, not they maintain. Then number 7. Ladies, I want you all to participate.
The National Wildlife Federation is concerned about the welfare of animals.
Excellent. What's the meaning of welfare? The welfare of animals. What does it mean? Protect them. Welfare, you mean saving them, protecting them. Okay, all of these can be the answer. Yeah, number 8. Please try.
The architecture has several adaptations that help it battle the elements.
Excellent. Battle the elements. What's battle the elements? The elements here means weather conditions. So this is another meaning for the word elements, and this is what we're going to study now. The word can have, or a word can have more than one meaning according to the situation. So here, battle the element means battle the bad condition, bad weather conditions. Okay? So if we look at the following exercise, exercise number B. Let's check your answers first. This is to check your answers. Okay? Check your answers, and let's move to exercise number B, page 7. I want you to choose meaning for the underlined word. Here, circle the alternative that best captures the meaning of the underlined target word in each sentence. This is very easy. I want you to read it now. Let's read one by one and answer. According to this situation, according to this context, what does the word maintained mean? Here. Maintained. What does the word maintained mean? Forget about this. This is the element. Okay? Look at your book.
Held his opinion. During the debate, the biologist maintained that humans are the best runners in hot weather. I guess the answer is A, held his opinion.
No, not held. This is mean supported his opinion. So maintained here means supported his opinion. In this sentence, okay? It means supported his opinion. Number 2. Yes.
The museum's collection are poorly maintained, cared for.
Excellent. Here, the collection are poorly maintained. Maintained means cared for, looked after. Okay? Excellent. Can you see? The word has different meaning according to its situation.
The student found the demonstration extremely helpful. Very
helpful. Excellent. See, helpful means very helpful. Number 4. Ladies, let's try it together. Yes, ma'am?
Some students complained that the amount of lab work was excessive and not very useful. It's unnecessarily great.
Excessive here means they felt that this is extra. So they felt that this is unnecessary. Okay? Unnecessarily to be done. So it's number B, unnecessarily great. Number 5. Please, number 5. Class participation. I want you all to participate. Class participation. Same.
To survive in cold weather, the outer's thick, dense fur helps it endure the elements. Weather?
Weather. Here, endure the elements, the weather.
To survive in cold weather, take this elementary precaution. Basic.
Basic. Elementary precautions. Precautions means basic. Elementary as the basis. Okay. Basic precautions. This is to survive in cold weather. Number 7. Number 7. Yes, please.
One element of architectic wall success is the ability to consume huge amounts of meat. It means parts.
Parts. Element here means part. So this brings us to our activity here. The word element has many meaning according to each situation. Now we have experienced the word element meaning weather conditions and meaning part. Okay? So an element can be a basic part of something. This means something. Okay? Like a key element, necessary element, essential element, crucial element, important element. This means a part of, or a basic part of this thing, of something. Or the word element can come to mean the basics of a subject. Like what? The element of bookkeeping, the elements of physics, the elements of computers. So this is the basics. The basics. This is the part of, and this is the basics of something. Like elements of computers, for example. Also, it means a group of people or subgroup of people. Like when we say a violent element. A violent element means a violent group of people, a violent figure. Yeah, exactly. A violent figure or a violent group of people. Radical element. Radical refers to races and origins. So this refers to people. Moderate element. Questionable element. All these refer to subgroup of people. Okay, refers to human. Okay, humans in general. Or a small amount, an element of truth, a small amount, an element of risk, an element of surprise, an element of risk. This small amount of, okay, an element of risk. Or the weather, exposed to the, usually, if you're talking about the weather, you put that and put it in the prelude, the elements. Okay, when you say the elements, usually it refers to the weather. Exposed to the element. Protected from the elements. Battle, fight, struggle, the elements. Also in chemistry, do you know the difference between the element and compound? We've studied this in the chemistry, okay? So an element in chemistry, like a chemical element, such as gold, mercury, or oxygen. These are chemical elements. Electronics. Even in electronics, we can use the word element to mean a device. A device that gets hot. We say the element is broken or has broken down. The element here means the device of this that gets hot. Okay? So now I want you to apply filling these spaces on page 8. Filling the space, sorry, matching. Matching each sentence with its appropriate meaning. Number 1, the element here in number 1, meaning. It means the basic parts or the basic of a subject or a group of people or small amount. It's very easy. Take a minute. We can do this again in groups. Discuss in groups. All the exercises be done in groups. Discuss with your peer or group member. Okay. Have you all finished? Huh? Can you start the first one?
There is an element of risk in any investment. Number D.
Number D. Element of risk. Number D. A small amount of risk. Okay? Easy.
The heating element in the oven was replaced. Electronics, G.
G. So the heating element, this is the part of the device. Exactly. Part of the
A key element of survival is being able to escape from predators. A.
This is basic part. The basic part. The key element. The basic part.
The course introduced students to the elements of wildlife management. B.
B. Element of. Element of, this is basic of a subject, of another element of. Usually it comes, or the word element comes with the preposition of. Okay, element of. Please.
The more vocal element in the group shouted down the speaker. C.
Okay, element in the group. So it refers to people. Excellent. So it's number C. Excellent.
A thick coat of fur is necessary to protect arctic animals from the elements. E, it's the weather.
Exactly, because we said protect them from the elements. The elements means the weather. Remember this. You'll find the type of questions, okay, whenever you're doing an exercise, even in your assessment, all of these. Okay. Number 7. Yes, please.
The heaviest naturally occurring non-radioactive element is basium.
Yeah.
Basium. Chemistry. F.
This is number F. So we are referring to chemical element. This is number F. So now I want you to answer these WH questions. This is to check your answers first. Of course, your answers is correct. Okay. This is to check your answers. And now I want you to refer to the passage to answer some comprehensive questions, WH questions. But in your answer, I want you to use the words between brackets like this here. How deep can the emperor penguin dive? I want you to contain a depth exceeding. I want your answer. Okay, in order to answer this question, I want you to include this phrase, a depth exceeding. Okay, for example, at a depth exceeding. Easy? Okay, refer back, scan the text back in order to answer this first question. For the second question, you're going to answer using the maintain. Okay, maintain. And so on. Yeah. Take time. Scan back. Scan back to answer these questions. The first one. Okay. Just take time for all the questions. And then we answer together. These are 4 questions, 2 minutes. I want you to quickly. Skim quickly. Now scanning. I want you to scan to get this answer. 2 minutes. Amna, start.
How deep can the emperor penguin dive? The emperor penguin dive can exceedingly The emperor penguin can exceedingly dive at a speed of 1770 feet.
Okay, again.
The emperor penguin can exceedingly dive at a depth of 1770 feet.
Okay, I want you to say at a depth exceeding 700 feet.
Okay.
Can dive at a depth exceeding 700 feet. Number 2. Who's going to answer number 2? Use the verb maintain.
What speed can penguin antelope travel over long distance? Maintain about 300 yards.
They can maintain
about 300 yards.
Excellent. They can maintain speed between 30. No, they can maintain speed between 30 and 45 miles per hour. Okay? They can maintain means they can keep. Number 3. They can maintain speed between 30 to 45 miles per hour. All the answers are going to be uploaded. Yes, the PowerPoint with its answers are going to be uploaded on the LMS. Don't worry. Okay? Whenever we finish the unit, you will find the PowerPoint and a lot. Number 3. Ladies, number 3. Who can answer? Yes, please.
It's the question: how fast can the Persian fly? Between brackets, achieve.
It can achieve speed of 200 miles per hour. Bravo. Number 4. Number 4. Number 4.
What special ability do wild beasts, terns, and salmon have? Salmon have a long duration of holding breath, or
not holding breath. Long duration.
Diving.
Yeah. So, or they can. You can say they can travel for long duration diving. They can travel for long duration without even diving. Okay. Now, I want you to look at the following sentences and rewrite it as if you're paraphrasing using the expression between brackets. This is to check your answers. Okay. These are your answers. You can check it on the LMS. And now, the last exercise for today is this. I want you to rewrite, paraphrase the same sentence, keeping the same piece of information using in excess of. So, in excess of can replace what? Over. Excellent. Who can read the sentence? Omitting over and using in excess of.
Blue whales can weigh excess of 170 tons.
In excess of. Excellent. Number 2. Paraphrasing.
The sound made by blue whales can exceed beyond 150 decibels.
Bravo. Can exceed. Exceed means can reach beyond. So you can say can exceed 150 decibels or can exceed beyond. But actually it's can exceed only. Okay? Can exceed only. Can exceed because exceed means reach beyond. Okay? Number 3. Yasmin?
Number 3, to survive, a squirrel must remember where it has individually hidden thousands of nuts. To survive, a squirrel must welfare depends on where it has.
Again?
To survive.
To survive means what? The welfare. Exactly. But to survive is a verb. And welfare, it's a noun. So we have to make some adjustment or changes in the sentence in order to use the noun form, not the verb. So we can say the welfare. The welfare of a squirrel depends on its ability to remember where exactly where thousands of nuts have been hidden, or where it hide thousands of nuts. Okay, so you can major changes in the sentence in order to paraphrase it. Okay, not only changing one. Rewrite it. This is the exercise. The exercise is about paraphrasing, rewriting in other words, using the words between brackets. Welfare depends on. So you can say the welfare of a squirrel depends on its ability to find or to remember where they can, to remember the nuts they have buried before.
Those purpura, the fastest sea mammal, can achieve speeds up to 56 miles per hour.
Exactly. Here can achieve speed up to 56 miles per hour. This is reading. We're about to leave. No, just a minute. Okay. Number 5. Huh?
The marmot, a large rodent, can hibernate for a duration up to 9 months a year.
Okay, for a duration. Hibernate means hibernate. Huh? No. Hibernate. Here it says this rodent can hibernate for up to 9 months a year. Sleep. Excellent. Hibernate means sleep. Okay. Sleep. Winter hibernate. You know? Okay. So this is the end of this lecture now. Next week, I want you now to go with me to page 9, reading number 2. Were humans born to run? Were humans born to run? Were they born specifically with this ability to run? Okay, we don't know. We need to read. This is what I need you to prepare for next time. I want you to read the whole text, reading number 2, page 9, 10, and 11. Okay? In order to find the answer for this, were we born to run? And if we can run, what physical abilities do we possess or do we have that would help us to be fast runner and sprinter? Okay? So if we go to page 16. On page 16, these are the item of writing and discussion. For next week, I want you to choose one item of these 4 writing topics. And just write an extended paragraph based on your reading for passage number 2 and based on researching. I want you to research based on your navigation internet, Google some terms. So I want you to write one extended paragraph, not an essay. Okay, now we're going to start with one extended paragraph. One extended paragraph about one of these 4 topics. You have 4 topics. It's up to you to choose any topic because they are all about exercising. And how do we exercise? And what's the benefit of exercising for our body? Okay? So, you're writing. In your writing, I want to see that you have searched some other resources and you have gained some pieces of information from reading number 2 in your writing. Okay? And I need one group to come. This is your total choice. I need one group to come next week to present reading number 2 for us and their research. Okay? Yeah, one topic this, one research question, and reading number 2. So now I leave you time to divide yourself into groups, name your groups, and tell me Which group is going to present next week before we start Unit 2? 3. 3 students per group. Okay? See you next week.